Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to SignaTeek channel. Today is all about fresh cinema experiences, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on the newest filmmaking its mark. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the recap of this exciting cinematic adventure. The movie begins with detectives Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett running through the streets of Miami, followed by other police officers. They arrive at the hospital and run inside, entering the room where Marcus's daughter Megan gave birth to a baby boy. His wife Teresa and Megan's fiancé Reggie are also there and tell Marcus that the boy is named after them. He proudly holds his grandson. In a Mexican prison, inmate Isabel Aritas murmurs her spell, which attracts the attention of her guards. Isabel snatches a knife from a guard and stabs her, and another prisoner intervenes and stabs her. Other guards take Isabel out of her, only for her son Armando to help kill all the other guards. He frees her and returns to her home to avenge her on behalf of her late husband Benito, and her Mike becomes her final target. Armando goes to the port to retrieve the box of money with the intention of working with other gangsters, but the gangsters try to mess with him and take most of the money. Using a weapon trained on Armando, he quickly retaliates by stabbing him. He then ordered the remaining soldiers to join if they wanted to serve their families faithfully. He is joined by a con artist named Lorenzo Rodriguez, aka Suero. Marcus's fellow officers, including Mike and Captain Howard, gather at a bar to celebrate Marcus becoming a grandfather. They meet a woman named Rita, who has just been promoted to lieutenant and is also Mike's ex-girlfriend. She tells us that she will also be taking over the management of ammo, which employs a team of young executives. Marcus knows that they are too old to endure all the crazy things they used to get into and encourages Mike to calm down, even though he disagrees. The two go out to race, but when Mike takes the lead, Armando gets on his bike and shoots Mike dead. As the police rush to help Mike, he runs away. Mike is in critical condition. Marcus prays to God for Mike's safety and promises he will never bring violence into the world again. Rita and Howard task Ammo, Kelly, Dawn, and Rafe to do everything in their power to investigate Mike's shooter. Meanwhile, Isabel scolds Armando for going after Mike, but she thinks she purposely wants him to die last, so she has to suffer watching others die. They stalk and murder judges, forensic analysts, and prosecutors in broad daylight. 6 months later, Megan and Reggie are married and Mike has recovered from his injury. He gives a speech at the wedding and then asks Marcus to help him catch the gunman. But Marcus refuses, fearing someone else will get hurt, and insists he is retiring. When Armando learns that Mike is awake, he uploads body camera footage of him shooting Mike. He asks Rita for help, but again meets the same rejection. Mike goes looking for the shooter. He visits an ex-con named Manny, the butcher, and hits him in the hand with a hammer until he reveals the name of a man named Bookie Grassi, who may have information about the owner of the motorcycle and, by extension, the gunman. Mike goes to Captain Howard, who reluctantly lets him go with ammunition to find Grassi. Mike quickly clashes with the intelligent Rafe, but Kelly and Dawn respect Mike's position as a detective. Mike and the team go to the warehouse where Grassi drops the drop. Mike soon realized that Grassi was trying to trick the boys, intending to commit suicide in the process. A gunfight begins and Mike tries to get Grassi out of it. However, after Grassi fends off the other thugs, he is thrown backwards by an explosion and ends up skewered by a forklift. He dies before Mike can get any information out of him. Marcus receives a call from an informant named Carver Remy, who claims that Armando is after Marcus and is trying to kill him. He asks Marcus for help, and Mike tries to contact him, but Mike ignores him, thinking Marcus is a quitter. Finally, Mike picks up Marcus and accompanies him to find Remy. However, when they arrive at the hotel, Remy's body crashes into Marcus's car. Mike escapes to the hotel and fights Armando. He manages to remove the mask, but is shocked to see Armando's face. He managed to escape. Mike then accompanies Howard to his games, and the two grow closer as Howard expresses genuine care and concern for Mike. As they were leaving, a bullet hit Howard in the throat. Armando and Suero were behind him, but Mike, knowing he was in sight, pulled Howard away and stayed behind the car, so Armando had no clear chance. Mike tries to revive Howard, but he dies. After the funeral, Marcus officially decides to work with Mike to catch the gunman. Mike and Marcus begin searching for the suspicious Picant Jenkins to find clues about the sniper. They enter Jenkins' motel room, where he is completely dazed. Marcus tries to get close to him on a personal level, but it only hits him hard. As soon as Marcus called out to them, ammunition came in and they threw Jenkins to the ground. After obtaining Jenkins' file, they recognize Zuero and plan to track him down next. The team goes to the club and finds Zuero there. After an attempt to arrest him, he escapes and the team ends up fighting his prey. Mike and Marcus hop on a motorcycle and sidecar, and Marcus has to break his promise to God and use a machine gun to fight off the oncoming thug. They drive out into the street and pursue Zuero, who attempts to climb the helicopter's ladder. Mike runs, turns off the switch, and clings to the ladder. Armando shoots Zuero for the microphone. He says to Mike, "Hasta el fuego," before Mike lets go and falls into the water. Back at headquarters, Mike has Don search the files based on what Armando said. Mike realizes that Isabel is behind everything. He explained to Marcus that he was deeply embedded in the Eritus cartel before they joined forces, and that he had an affair with Isabel before imprisoning her and murdering her husband. Hasta el fuego was the expression they came up with. It didn't make any sense, but it meant, "we'll be together until the fire goes out." She is also a big fan on her Twitter, which earned her the nickname Love Ruja. Mike concludes that Armando is his son, and that Armando is setting him up for revenge since all the victims were involved in the same incident against the Aritas family. Realizing that she knows the truth, Isabel contacts Mike and arranges to meet in Mexico City to end the situation. The team travels to Mexico for a showdown, and Isabel orders Mike to meet her at an old palace. They engage in a gunfight with Isabel's mercenaries, and the ammunition officers demonstrate their weapons and, in Don's case, physical skills. Marcus then shoots down a sniper helicopter, which crashes into a building, causing a fire. Armando wants to fight Mike, but he decides to confront Mike as a person and reveal his parentage to Armando. He asked Isabel if it was true, and she admitted that it was. She tries to shoot Mike, but Armando gets in the way and gets shot in the shoulder. Rita then shoots Isabel off a ledge and she falls into the burning rubble. Marcus also falls, but Armando helps Mike pull him up and get him out of there. Afterwards, the team gets along better and celebrates Rita's promotion as the new captain. Mike and Marcus join Baby Marcus in singing Bad Boy songs. Before the end credits roll, Mike visits Armando in prison and offers him a chance to atone for his crimes. Armando also seems interested, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed this film recap and want more, subscribe now, like, and share captivating stories with your friends. Tell me which movie you'd like me to summarize next. See you soon.